difficult to follow George III. I know George IV will be difficult. And I haven't quite gotten used to being referred to as George V. But that's but I think my wife at 65 years has said, speak loud. It is a night that is so precious to your mother and I for a whole number of reasons. The very fact that we are here, so many of us, so many of you who made the effort, but still looking at some of these photos that go back to our 40th anniversary are really not too far away from why I felt that I wanted to share something with you. Actually, there are 4 generations of us in this room who were able to make it. Well, I received this the other day, and I was just so taken with it because of the fact that not only is this a marvelous work of somebody of the 4th generation, but it's so apropos at this particular time, not only in the life of our nation, but in this particular significance of Veterans Day, which is being celebrated by all communities with more vigor this year than before. So if you may, with the exclusions of the reference to me, listen to the sense of the letter, listen to the awareness of what makes families, as George said, but what makes the nation. The title is, When is the Right Time to Honor Our Military Heroes? Many people wonder, when is the right time to honor our military heroes? People usually think Veterans Day is the best and the only time to thank them for what they have done for our country. I say we should always honor them and constantly keep what they are doing for us and for our country in our thoughts. The people who have served our country, for the most part, are determined, gracious people. They sacrificed their entire lives to save and defend our nation. These people have courage, confidence, pride, gratitude, and yes, kindness in their hearts to be able to leave their loving families and go off to protect us. Yes, it is appropriate to dedicate a day to thank our military heroes and to show respect for what they have done. But I think they deserve more than that. I think that every day in our lives should be dedicated to veterans because they spent every day of their lives fighting for us. Here's where it's difficult. My great-grandfather, Connor, would you come up and stand behind me? My great-grandfather was a pilot for the Marines in World War II. He is one of the most courageous, confident, kind, thankful, proud, and dedicated people I know. His story is a great example of a perfect military hero. Before he went to war, he asked his girlfriend to marry him. She said, "Yeah, I'll marry you, and if you come back alive," for she did not want to be a widow. With that great incentive on his mind, he went to war. And he came back years later ready to marry the love of his life. My great-grandmother, with a brave, scary story to tell. While flying in his plane, a shell was shot at the underside of his seat. Normally the whole plane at that time would have blown up, but thankfully, that's because we sat on a gasoline tank. But thankfully the bullet was a dud. I always remember this story when I am about to give up because it really shows how much courage and confidence my great-grandfather had. My great-grandfather is still alive. Delighted to hear it. And living well with my great-grandmother today. And let me tell you, that's first-class living. Every time I see him, he gives me miniature American flags or guardian angel necklaces. I really admire the fact, and this is a fact, that he still believes and has hope, much hope for our country. We should always honor our veterans and appreciate all that they do to protect our freedom. By Leah Nisbet. Wow. 12 years and almost 13. Leah, I have never been so touched as Nana and I were when your grandmother said that to us. Considering that Veterans Day is just 3 days away, and the nation and our country faces some difficult things and times. But for all of you young people, our nation has always felt and faced difficult times and has always come through. I felt awkward about some of the wonderful things you said, but at the same time, where is my oldest grandson? Youngest. Oh, youngest. Where is it? Oh, hold on just a moment. Hold on just a moment. No, he's the oldest grandson of the youngest daughter. Actually, I'm not as conversant or as qualified or as able as George is on these remarks, but he's given remarks that are 40th, I believe, and so on and so forth. I just wanted to point out to you, there's a little tangible thing. I think I know where the history came from with Laura and the Rocking Horse Ranch and the great poem that she wrote. But the fact is, I just brought this along as a little situation. This was the top of a shell that hit the bottom of my plane, went through the life raft into the parachute, stopped a little bit short of my rear end. Had it not, you wouldn't be sitting here right now. So, I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to say that Nana will say her remarks, but mine is, it's so hard to tell you how much strength and love and joy that Nana and I get from all of our family and from all of you. And hopefully this can continue. One other thing, I have to tell you this story has nothing to do with that. Years and years ago, when Susan graduated from school, John and Judy and Ruth and I went to Ireland for 10 days. A whole lot of stories, I won't go over those. But one of them was, one night we ended up at an Irish pub. Well, I thought we were having a good time. All of a sudden, this guy was there every time he turns around. He was a fire lieutenant, retired from the New York Fire Department. And he took a picture of your mother. And I have it right here in front of me. I found it today. She showed me the picture. That's the picture. Take a look at it if you want. Looks absolutely fabulous.
We'll pass it around.
I will. It says Jack Sharp, 53 Elm Drive, Farmingdale, New York. I said, what the hell is he doing in New York? So I wrote a little something on the bottom. I said, Ruth, you are the music of my soul and the melody by which we have grown old. And we weren't even old at that particular time. Thank you very much.
Naturally, I want to say a few words. I think it's wonderful of all you
children, as Papa and Grandpa, Dad, has said before me, that all of you have made this effort to be here to help us celebrate this anniversary. And to thank all of you for being here. And as Papa said, I have to say Grandpa, Dad, I lost my train of thought.
Thank you all for being here.
So as Papa said, there's been so many different times we've had happy times. And God has been very good to have a family like this and everybody enjoying each other. So I'm so delighted that we too are able to be here to celebrate this year and have everybody with us. So, and the letter from Leah, when we received it, I said, you have to read that letter tomorrow night so everybody can hear it and know that it came from Leah. And naturally, I love you all. I'm proud to be your mother and your grandmother. And I hope, as Papa says, we might make it 70. I think I'm going to keep him.
One tiny addendum to come back to reality. Notice there's so many of these times we've had. Golfers, weddings, one thing or another, golf matches, and so forth. And George's toast was so erudite, so healing, so sensitive to reach out to all of us. Thank you for the distance. I have one that I used to do for a good number of years when Nana and I would go to a Marine convention. And some of you were at one of those conventions. I think you all recall that. So I have a toast to add to George. May I have my scotch?
I got it.
What's a scotch?
I've drunk to your health in company. And I've drunk to your health sometimes alone. I've drunk to your health so many times, I've damn near ruined my own.